Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at Rotom EX. Rotom EX has gone and been revealed. Now this is of course from Inferno X over in Japan. It's going to be in Phantasmal Flames over here. We did say there were 3 EXs we hadn't seen that we needed to see. Well, now we've seen at least one of them. It's Rotom, and is it any good? Well, that depends on how we want to look at it. You see, on the face of it, this is a card that I really want to like. Sure, we got 190 HP on an EX, which is low, but it's Rotom, it's a basic, it's got a good support ability. We don't expect it to have huge HP. And the ability is really nice. Your Pokemon with Rotom in their name can each have up to 2 Pokemon tools attached. And then obviously if it stops working, you discard the extra Pokemon tools. One thing which is very important, it is all of your Pokemon with Rotom in their name, not called Rotom. That means it counts for Rotom, it counts for Rotom EX, which is important because Rotom and Rotom EX have different names, and therefore you can have, 4 of each of them so you can fill your board, which is good. But it also means Fan Rotom, Mo Rotom, etc. All of these absolutely count, and that's a very nice thing. Wonderful. The problem is, I keep trying to figure out the attack on this Pokemon, and I can't do it. Now, when I say figure out the attack, I can tell you what the attack does. I can translate this myself. I do that nowadays. Although I do check with the lovely Anton Boulet just to be sure. 2 energy, 130 damage, discard all energy from this Pokemon. Well, it's not ideal, I'm going to be honest with you. However, we do, at least until rotation, we've still got Electric Generator, which will get some energy on there. And so you get 2 energy, and then you attack, and then you get 2 energy, and then you attack, and round we go. Important, it's not discard 2 energy, it's discard all energy. So you cannot just stash energy on with Electric Generator and then discard as you go. It's got to be put 2 on discard and then reload. And you look at it and you go, well, hang on a second. We've got the option, the ability here to get 2 tools on each of our Pokemon, called Rotom. Surely we can take advantage of that and then do a lot more than 130. And the answer is, it doesn't quite work. It gets very close to working, but it doesn't quite work. Because I look at this and I go, well, first of all, your A-spec of choice can be maximum bout. Now that 130 goes up to 180, we really want to get up to like 210 so we can get Pheasantipsy, for instance, a card seeing an absurd amount of play. And we do actually have 2 tool cards that we can use that will do an extra 30 damage. But they don't quite work. We just recently got Brave Bangle. Brave Bangle does an extra 30 damage, but it only works on non-rule box Pokemon, and this has a rule box, so that doesn't work. Defiance Band, that does an extra 30 damage, but only if you've got more prize cards remaining than your opponent. I want to be able to do turn 1 going second 210 to start KOing these weaker EXs, and it just doesn't work. So no, I don't love this Pokemon on its own. But I don't have to play this Pokemon on its own. Essentially, the way I love this Pokemon, and I do think it could be a very nice Pokemon, it's not through having it as its own attacker and building up and rolling. It is through using your other Rotom. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how it ends up being a very nice Pokemon. Because you see, over in Destined Rivals, we got a bunch of other Pokemon called Rotom, or with Rotom in their name. We got Rotom, and then we got Wash Rotom, Heat Rotom, and Mo Rotom, and all of those have the same attack, and the attack is Gadget Show. For 2 colorless energy, it does 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all of your Pokemon. Okay, Cool. Oh, hang on a second. I can now have 2 tools on each of my Pokemon, which means in theory we could have 12 tools attached. That's 360 damage. We don't need to do 360 the vast majority of the time. But if we want to do 360, we totally can. And the thing is, we look at that and we go, oh, hang on a second. Oh, that's a little bit annoying because they're 2 energy attacks and you can't use ignition energy because they're not evolved Pokemon. And then you go, oh, hang on a second. We don't even need ignition energy. We got Counter Gain. Counter Gain got a reprint not that long ago in Surging Sparks. It's going to survive the next rotation. So that means that we can use Counter Gain, and there's 2 ways of doing this. What you could do is attach 2 Counter Gain to the same Pokemon, and as long as you're behind on prizes, it's actually free. Or you can just attach one of these and make them single energy Pokemon. I know I was moaning about the not being behind on prizes a minute ago, but that was trying to use Rotom EX as a turn 1, real build tempo Pokemon. That's not what we're looking at here. Here we are looking at a single prize deck that can win the prize trade. And look, single prize Pokemon, you're going to be giving up a prize fairly early doors. Do it. Give up that prize early doors. And then swing back around with Counter Gain and off we go. Because now we can start using stuff like Defiance Band because you're going to be behind on prizes a bunch. We can use stuff like Brave Bangle because you don't have a rule box attached. I still incidentally think Maximum Belt is the best idea for A-Spec. I think your A-Spec needs to be a tool, but we have a bunch of Pokemon tools that you can use here. I just think Maximum Belt is probably the best. Most of the others, it's really about survivability, which I would suggest is most of the time a little bit less important. Although, while we're here, can I give just a tiny wincy little bit of love? Just a tiny little shout out to Survival Brace? Because if it's got full HP and it's attached, then you don't get knocked out. You go down to 10 HP remaining. It can be played around, especially with the absurd amount of Monkey Dory running around in the format right now. Move damage over, you're not at full HP, they can KO. But there is an argument to use this. Since you've got low HP Pokemon, your opponent is going to be able to use smaller attacks and just get one-hit KOs all the time. I kind of love the idea that this could be a way to make your opponent 2-hit KO a very weak Rotom, which could be fun. And then we start looking at it and we go, well, okay, we've got some options here for KOing with weakness. So let's say Mega Venusaur becomes good, and the early signs out of Japan is it's good, but it's not a game-breaking card. Well, you've got Heat Rotom, so you're going to be fine. If Mega Charizard X, which does, to be fair, look very good, we don't know enough about that yet, unfortunately, but if that ends up being good, well, wonderful news. You can hit that with Wash Rotom for weakness and you're going to be good. The Charizard EX we've been playing for a while, which to be fair, we do actually know for a fact is good, and it does look better than it has been recently in the upcoming format in Japan. At least they're playing it and winning with it a lot more than we are at the moment over here. Well, that's got grass weakness, so in comes Rotom, and you're fine. You are hitting a bunch of weaknesses, which is lovely. But you're not hitting weakness on Gardevoir. And you're not hitting weakness on Dragapult. Now, the good news is you are hitting weakness on Goldengo with Heat Rotom. And Goldengo is a Pokemon that is getting a lot more play lately. It was in the Worlds format, but it's actually accelerating over in Japan as well. So that's one that you are hitting for weakness. But I think there's too many that you're not hitting for weakness. And I know you can get up to 360 here, and that's lovely. But that's assuming you've got a full bench of Rotom and each of them have 2 tools attached. Which is not going to be the situation that you're in most of the time. It's really a deck that gets better when you are hitting for weakness. And the problem is you're just not going to be hitting for weakness often enough, which is a little bit sad. Important little side note here. Jamming Tower will turn off your tools, but you will still have tools attached, so you'll still be able to get the extra damage from having the tools attached. They just won't actually do anything, which is kind of fun. And I don't know if anyone's going to play it, because so far, no one has been playing it. But Megaton Blower, that is an ace spec which could come out and ruin your day because it discards all tools. Is anyone really going to play their ace spec just to try and counter this deck? I don't know. But if they do, it's going to be sad. And actually, while we're talking about Megaton Blower, we probably should acknowledge Treasure Tracker from Prismatic Evolutions. Lets you search for 5 Pokemon tools. And yes, there is a strong argument that in this deck, that would be a great thing to do, to search for all of those tools. I still want the extra damage with Maximum Belt here. I think it's too important. Or maybe save a prize with Survival Brace. I think Treasure Tracker is cool. And maybe it's going to end up being the best one in this deck. It's not my first choice right now. We'll have to see how it all shakes out later. For now, I'm going to go ahead and give this new Rotom between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. We're in a weird situation with this where I'm not sure I love the Pokemon on its own. It doesn't do enough damage. But actually, it's really potentially awesome for helping out the other Rotom. But then again, that deck seems to have some problems as well. But I think I've laid it all down now. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you think this Gadget Show is going to work. Let me know all your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Fawny Horvath, who's been a supporter of ours for a little while now and seems to be lovely. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.